I'm in salad and I'm back in the void and I saw Loki. It's created by Michael Waldron. This episode will be a very long review because this episode will be more like my WandaVision, my The Falcon and Winter Soldier, like my Hawkeye review, where I review each episode individually, and then it's all one big old video, so this is a series review. If you haven't seen this series, I will spoil it for you. Episode 1 starts with around the events of when Endgame occurred. We see Loki just standing there in what appears to be an airport. The Tesseract gets loose from this briefcase. He grabs it, and then he warps to this, desert, and he's like, where am I? Oh, I would also feel a little bit disoriented if I just kind of warped randomly into the desert. But then, some dudes in some kind of beefy head body armor, they're like, you're a time variant. You're coming with us. And then they take Loki. I especially love just seeing Loki going through this entire process. He's like, where am I? I'm not supposed to be here. And he's just falling floor through floor. Oh, your precious suit of armor is going to be taken. Oh no, do not touch my Asgardian leather. And it melts it all off, and then he's given a jumpsuit that looks like it's prison, but it's not orange. It's a tan. I like this choice. And then he's supposed to go through this DMV style line, which I find hilarious. So you're supposed to get your ticket. If you don't get your ticket, then you're gonna get pruned. They have these rods that have this little tip thing at the end that if you get touched by it, you get completely dissolved. Your matter just goes. I don't know where it goes. I'm like, whoa, this is terrifying. Loki, please get your ticket. Wait, it's in line, even though he's only the second person there. And he's told about all the variants and what a variant is. And he's told about what a variant is by a clock. A clock on the screen who knows what Loki is going to say. You're probably saying this set of words that you just said probably 5 seconds ago. I don't even supposed to be here today. You're probably saying that. Well, we're gonna have to grab you because you were off the wrong timeline. You did what you're not supposed to do, and so now we're supposed to fix you. We're supposed to educate you, or I guess educate you. I don't know what the purpose is of this time authority. I know that the actual purpose is to make sure that everything flows along this one timeline. But what happens to the variants that are taken? Are they ever placed into the original timeline again? Or are they just forever gone? That's what I'm curious about. So Loki goes in front of a judge. Hello, judge. I am here. I had to sign a really tall stack of papers that confirmed everything that I've said, which I find to be hilarious, by the way. I am not guilty. I make my own decisions. And you got the judge, she's like, you picked up the Tesseract, did you? You're not supposed to do that. Loki's like, alright, guilty as charged. And then he's taken away. Loki is taken away by Mobius. And Mobius is very curious about Loki's intentions. Why do you hurt people? Let me show you everything that happened in your life before now, and after now, and I guess now. And you really like to hurt people, Loki. You have Loki being like, I do not, it's always necessary. But eventually, he's like, just like that. He's so angry. You even got other agents talking to Mobius like, come on, let's just reset him. He's like, come on, we were getting somewhere. Come on. This other agent that was talking to Mobius rudely interrupted this whole process. And so Loki was able to escape. And he's trying to run around. Woo, I'm trying to escape. Woo. And he goes to this office space, which is cool. I like this scene particularly because he goes to this office space and finds a bunch of infinity stones. Just a bunch of them. Just paperweights. There's an office guy he's talking to, I will kill you if you don't comply with my needs. And he's talking to, like, Infinity Stones. Like, yeah, they're just like paperweights. And he's like, this is the greatest power in the universe. He goes back to the room before and he watches how he dies, and he sees him dying by the hands of Thanos. He's like, huh. Ha 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 ha. He kind of breaks, and then he's just kind of sitting there, and Mobius is back. He's like, hello, you're back. And Loki's like, yeah, I'm all those things. He said, I do enjoy hurting people because I am a shell of a person, and I feel that if I hurt people, then I can gain power over them, but I'm just hiding my weak self. And Mobius is like, good character development, good job there. But there's a bigger threat, mind you. There's a Loki going around just stealing a bunch of time charges. You got them time charges, you have to steal them. Go warp into a bunch of different time places. Woo! We're gonna steal them. So Loki. And that's why Mobius is like, hey Loki, I need to assist your help. I need your assistance, por favor. Please, give me a good favor. This is because I just simply have you reset. I instead need your help. And because you're Loki, you would know. I like this logic. I like how Mobius is taking a chance on Loki. I'm very excited to see how Loki progresses as a character. This was a very strong opener. It established the setting that Loki's in. It establishes the power levels that we're dealing with. We're dealing with somebody who thinks Infinity Stones are paperweights. And this is a massive power. So I'm very excited to see what happens. And because this is a great first episode, I gotta give this episode a solid 8.3 out of 10. Episode 2 starts with Loki being brought on to a mission to the past, Wisconsin. He's like, I want to talk to the timekeepers, though. That's my motivation for being along the ride. But there's a variant that's dangerous, and it's hopping from time to time. It's very important for us to get this variant, says Mobius. And it's very important for us to get this... retake that. And it's very important for us to get this variant, says Mobius. Of course, Loki's like, I'm gonna stall for time. I don't want to help you. No way. But, you know, he's supposed to help. He doesn't really have anything else going on right now. He's kind of stuck. Please, just help them, Loki. I understand your ego is very vast, and you don't want to help them unless to get something that you want. But come on, Loki, please. It'll get you out of your situation. But speaking about those timekeepers, the employees of the TVA really think that the timekeepers created them, created existence, created everything, and now is responsible for time. And I'm just like, interesting. I'm intrigued. Where could this go from here? Mobius is like, I think that the best way for the variant not to get caught is to be where it's supposed to be, and that's near apocalypses. And I'm like, man, what a brutal fate for Loki. Oh boy. He's known for death and suffering everywhere, and so he's like, yeah, that makes sense. Let's go to Pompeii, and then we see the variant there. And I'm like, whoa, oh boy. It's there. Their theory was true. We even see a little bit of Mobius trying to convince, oh yeah, hello boss woman, please let me investigate. I have a solid theory here, and I'd like to prove it. She's like, alright, fine. Okay, but you're under strict watch, okay? I can't do this if this fails, you know? And Mobius is like, yeah, I know, I got a big old brain theory. Let's go to apocalypses. They even go to a hurricane. Everyone's about to die in this hurricane that happens 2050, I believe, and the variant is stocking them there. They're in a store. Ooh, store time! And the lights flickering. Pow, 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 pow! Bam, bam, bam! I'm like, oh boy, the variant is here. And the variant does show themselves to Loki. And Loki is like, hello, variant. I am here. We should have a truce. I love this variant, by the way, because the variant can take up the bodies of just random person. We see just like a random store worker being like, yeah, I'm walking the talk. I'm big, powerful. And I also really love the part where we see Loki is just like, hey, we should overthrow the timekeepers. What do you say? And they're like, nah. And I'm like, what is your motivation then? What is your ultimate motivation? Loki has a big old fight. And he gets beat up. Because he's the lesser Loki. This Loki shows themselves. It's a she Loki. Her name, not Loki. She doesn't want to be called Loki. But she's a female. She resets all these time charges and creates a bunch of branching timelines. And I'm like, look at the chaos! Chaos you've created! What is your ultimate goal? Please, just let me know. I want to know! And Loki, he's like, yeah, I want to know too. I really want to, I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna follow you into this time warpy thing. Despite Mobius being like, no, don't go, please, don't go, no! Okay, I guess you're going. And then the episode ends just like that. I'm like, whoa, what is Loki gonna do? All my expectations were twisted because everyone thought that this Loki variant was supposed to be a male, but this Loki variant is a female, and she's really cute, and I would hug her and pet her hair and brush it a little bit. But I really just enjoyed just the chaos that this variant of Loki is just ensuing and creates multiple timelines. What is that going to do? What are the effects of that? What's the consequences of that? I'm so excited to see, and because of my excitement for the future episode, I gotta give this episode a solid 8.0 out of 10. Episode 3 starts, we see the variant female Loki going to the headquarters of TVA. Ooh, I guess who's here to stop her? It's Loki. You don't want to do this. Ooh, we could work together. Ooh, but then there's some hooligans. Oh, we gotta get them. Arrgh. Oh, let's grab a telepad. Let's go to 2077 where we're gonna go on a moon. Let's grab the telepad, and then let's teleport ourselves to 2077 and be on a planet that's about to be crashed by a moon. And I'm just thinking, oh boy, how are they going to escape the situation? They first really hate each other. They're like, I don't want to, says female Loki, who reveals her name to be Sylvie. Sylvie's like, I don't want to be with you. You got the Loki, he's like, yeah, come on, man. You're so interesting, though. You're just interesting. And they eventually do kind of be a little bit more friendly, but not actually really, when they're trying to find a way to get off the planet before it explodes due to a moon crashing into the planet. That's one way to forge a friendship, is to be under the same life-threatening conditions. And so they have to, like, navigate through this whole city. Ooh, we gotta go through. Ooh, and then they see the ship that is supposed to leave the planet just go BAM! Just go explode. And I'm just like, man, this entire planet has no hope. I really like the neon set of the planet. I really like just the planet itself. It's really pretty, and it's also really cool, especially with all the neon. Did I mention the neon yet? Before they're going through the city, though, they're first on a train, and Loki's like, yeah, I'm on a train. Ooh, I'm gonna sneak on the train with Sylvie. Ooh. Then Loki's like, I'm comfortable. This is the last day of their lives. Who cares, you know? Who cares that I'm just here, just having a grand old time. I'm getting drunk. I'm singing along with everyone on the board, but then some people are staring at me, Sylvie says. They get thrown off the train. Lo and behold, would you believe it? I definitely could, and the temp pad broke through. Now they're just stuck. They're stuck going through the city, and then they have to go to what looks to be a really pretty spot and a really pretty opening. And you just see the moon just crashing behind them, just seeing them. And I love this part. I'm like, okay, you guys are about to die. Well, you guys just please make up. And you know what happens? Well, I'm gonna face you, okay? I'm gonna face you, Sylvie. I'm gonna hold your hand. And we also see, via the time variance authorita, their cam that says, oh, y'all are peek. They see where he's at. They're like, oh, we gotta go get him. Oh, look at that right there. That shouldn't be there. Let's go to that place. And right in the nick of time, right in before they're about to be hit with moons, they get taken. They get saved. And I'm like, good thing. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that there's a plant of some romance seed there that I really want to see. What a perfect partner for Loki is himself from a different timeline, from a female version of Loki. They're just having a lovey-dovey connection at the beach, and they're watching the moon die right in front of them. I'm like, man, how are they gonna survive? I'm so intrigued. And the episode ends here. And I'm like, wow, cliffhanger? Amazing. How are they gonna survive? There's already 3 more episodes. I know how they're gonna survive. But how? I'm very curious. This definitely established a little bit more of a relationship between Sylvie and Loki, in my opinion. I really like the dynamic changing between them. From like Sylvie being like, I'm solo, to be like, okay, I'll help, I'll accept your help just a little bit. And because of the character development, I gotta give this episode a solid 7.9 out of 10. Episode 4 starts, we get to see Loki and Sylvie, they're sitting on a log, and Sylvie's telling Loki about a story from when she was a child, and then she was yoinked. Why was she yoinked? She's never supposed to even be alive. She's not supposed to exist. Lokis are only supposed to be male. So her existence immediately just wiped out like the rest of her life. Like her life was taken by the TVA. She had to go through all the same hoops that Loki had to go through. But she managed to find her way out and start jumping timelines. But then she eventually figured out how to hide from the TVA, hide in a bunch of apocalypses. And so her entire life is just seeing a bunch of worlds die at the few days before a bunch of worlds die. And I wonder what that does to you psychologically. It's like, oh, well, I can never have a future because it's all just going to get destroyed. Loki's like, well, I think you're lovey-dovey. Let me turn to the side a little bit. Let me have a little hand hold, and I'm going to hold your hand, and we're going to hold hands so strongly that the TVA is going to feel it. So we're going to feel a deviation in the timeline, and they're going to snatch us. Oh no, we've been yoinked. When they get yoinked, Loki gets put in a bad time loop by Mobius. And Loki's just like, ugh, this is annoying. I'm sorry, I'm a bad person. I keep getting slapped so many times, no matter what I say, I keep getting slapped. And I keep being disrespected by Sif. This was the bad memory loop, has Sif in it. Meanwhile, Sylvie's like, hey, I'm gonna go to that Hunter B-15. You know, the Hunter that initially wanted to reset Loki? Yeah, I'm gonna talk to her. And I'm going to access her memories. And she has memories from when she was at a bar and on Earth? What? Wow, okay. And then we get to actually realize that this is a variant, and everyone else is a variant as a result. There's a big mystery that needs to be solved. Why does this variant, if they were created by the Time Lords, why do they remember their time on Earth? when I can just access their memories? This is a big old burning question. Mobius gets a little bit more knowledge on actually everyone is a variant. Sylvie shares some knowledge, ooh, and then gets him out of the time loop. Uh-oh, the boss, the judge, is like, nope, you're gonna get pruned. Bam, you get pruned. I'm like, no, what happened to him? No, this is awful. Did he just die? Did you just kill Mobius? Why? Why did you do that? That judge lady, she takes the Lokis to the timekeepers. There's a big old fight. And during this fight, one of the timekeepers' head gets decapitated, and he's shown to be a robot. And it's like, well, if these aren't the timekeepers, then who is the timekeeper? What's the mystery behind this? And then Loki gets pruned from behind. They're having a romantic moment, like, timekeepers, oh, they don't exist, oh no. And then Loki gets pruned from behind. And I'm like, what? This is devastating. Oh no, please, Our main character is dead at this point. Wherever shall he be? Oh no, what happened to him? I want to know what happened to him, but I don't want him to be dead, please. Of course, the person who did this to Loki was the judge, and then we also have Sylvie is like, I'm gonna be big, brr. I'm big, Where is Loki? Where is Loki? And that's how the episode ends. I like this episode because it just points out all the lies that the TVA is doing, whether they're knowingly enforcing these lies or not. I feel like most of the I feel like any of the time people, like everyone in this time variance association, I feel is going to be a variant of some kind. They're just like brainwashed and then like, oh yeah, we were created, we have an ultimate purpose. We have an ultimate creation purpose is to establish time. Is to be the bureaucrat of time. And I'm just like, man, I just want to know where Loki I want to know what happened to Loki. Please, just show me where Loki is. I want Loki. And because this left me like, no! And of course, Sylvie's like understandably really mad. And there's a whole potential to this. I gotta give this episode a solid 8.4 out of 10. Episode 5 starts with the judge telling Sylvie that he was sent to the void. Ooh, what is the void? The void is the end of time. Basically, what? You're being sent to the end of time? What happens at the end of time? Does time get destroyed? Does everything get destroyed? I'm very curious as to what happens at the end of time. And as Sylvie's being told all this information, ooh, she's been surrounded by TVA guards. We're gonna get you. But then she prunes herself. And I'm like, whoa, that is so cool. She gets teleported to a place, and she ends up in the car with Mobius, running away from a giant gas cloud. Meanwhile, we see Loki. He's just Lokiing about when you see other Lokis. And I like all their dynamic. There's a comic book Loki. Oh boy, my light just died. So we see a comic book Loki. We also see an alligator, a young Loki. And I like their dynamic. I like how everyone's like, oh yeah, we have we rule some part of something. We are here because we're all variants. You have the comic book Loki. He was able to live the longest, even hides out, and then once he's trying to leave hiding, he gets caught. And then in the young Loki, he is like, oh, well, I killed my brother Thor, and that's not supposed to happen, so I got sent here. And I don't know what the alligator Loki did, but I really like the use of the alligator Loki. He likes to just chomp on people's hands and try to hold on and bite them, which must hurt. Man, it's so painful. But we also see them like, well, how do we get out of here? We don't, we just survive. All we do is survive. And they've been surviving for a pretty long time. I must admit, they have a pretty cool bunker. It's pretty cozy, it's pretty safe from the cloud monster that supposedly eats everything that shows up. But we also do get to see a little bit of them infighting, bicker, but then we also get to see them finding Mobius and Sylvia. Sylvia had stolen like one of those telepaths and gives it to Mobius, and Mobius leaves. Bye, Mobius, have a good time, have a nice time. I wonder what Mobius is up to, honestly. But then Sylvie's like, alright, I have this enchantment power. I can access memories. Let me see if I can do it on this cloud. And I'm like, that's a really, I don't know if it's dumb or smart or genius. I don't know what it is. It just seems impossible. And she's having a hard time trying to enchant it. Ooh, I'm struggling. Oh! But then, classic Loki, comic book Loki is like, I will sacrifice myself. I shall create a really big thing of Asgard. And I'm like, dude, he's so powerful. He can just create illusions out of nothing. That's so awesome. Amazing. I'm such a big fan, honestly. But he gets weaker and weaker. And they're trying to enchant this cloud, Sylvie. And Sylvie employs the help of Loki, who doesn't know how to do it, but then is taught, and Loki does his best, and he's like, oh, I can actually enchant now. And then there's a big old green cloud. Ooh, it's green. And I'm like, awesome, they did it! I skipped over the massive amounts of character growth. There's a lot of character engagement with each other. The different Lokis, how they talk to each other, I really like that. And we also get to see, oh, well, we gotta get off of this planet somehow. Well, actually, I think that big old cloud is a gateway to the Timekeeper. It's like a big old guard dog, and if we enchant it, it'll open us a portal. And you know what it does? When they enchant this guard dog cloud thing, it opens a hole, and the hole is supposed to be filled with them walking in it. And I'm like, awesome! Dude, this is so cool! Oh, wow, okay. I'm so, hype. Episode 6 is next episode. This is a big old hype for the other one. For episode 6, again, I really have to mention the characters. The characters are very fun, and they're different from each other, which makes their interactions fun. Not to mention that Sylvie and Loki have achieved their goal, and they're about to go talk to the Timekeeper. And I'm like, man, I wonder what they're going to say to them. I wonder what the Timekeeper is going to say to them two. Man, this is so fun. I'm so excited for the next episode to start because of my excitement level. And this episode does a really good job of establishing what the void is, and also establishing their goals, and then, oh, well, we should go to the Timekeeper. Okay, they're very successful about being able to meet the Timekeeper. And because of that, I gotta give this episode a solid 8.4 out of 10. Episode 6 starts with Sylvie and Loki. They're going to confront the guy who controls all of time, and I find this to be very entertaining. So Sylvie and Loki walk in, and they see He Who Remains, and he's like, hey, I established the TVA for a reason. There has to be a sacred timeline because I'm trying to protect the multiverse from myself. There used to be a multiversal war between many different versions of myself, and I was like, I'm gonna put a stop to it. I'm gonna establish a TVA. I'm gonna establish a sacred timeline, and I need somebody to take over this job for me. Hey, look, Sylvie and Loki, looks like you two are here. Would you guys like to replace me? We have Sylvie, who is not trusting at all. She's like, I don't know if you're telling the truth or not. Maybe you're just saying all of this so you can have some sort of dictatorship over a bunch of people. And Loki's like, I think you are telling the truth. Let me think about it. Let me think about whether I do want to rule. And of course, Sylvie and Loki are like, we have to fight each other because we have different ideals. We're gonna have a big old battle. Bam! It's gonna be great. Meanwhile, we have the B-15 Hunter agent. She's like, I'm a variant. I'm gonna tell everyone else their variants. I'm not sure what that's gonna do, honestly. Will the TVA still be here after this episode? I'm really curious. The He Who Remains is very confident that he'll just be around. Yeah, if you kill me, I'm just going to appear again. But it might not be in the form that we all like. But if you rule, I can just chill and be chillin'. What's your pick? Throughout this whole battle, I loved seeing them fight, because it's like they were originally fighting versus kind of like not very happy with each other, and then they learned each other more, and now they're fighting again. And it's like, oh, what's going to happen? But then they kiss. Ooh, kiss! And then BAM! Sylvie pushes Loki back into the TVA. And Sylvie takes her chance. I'm gonna murder, death, kill you. Ooh. And I'm like, Sylvie, I trust the guy. Why would the guy lie? Look at his palace. It's so cool. He's just chilling. But like, he has a really hard job. Would you not want to take over that job? Because this guy has a really important job, he must be incredibly dangerous. He's like hiding his power levels. I can't get a read on how powerful he is, but if he's controlling time and the TVA has a bunch of infinity stones, what massive amount of power does he have? I'm very excited. I'm like, whoa, there's like so much potential for this character to go. I'm very excited for him to be in Ant-Man 3. I know he's gonna be in that. I'm like, whoa, 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 the powerful man. Ooh, powerful man alert, except for when Sylvie kills him. But then Loki gets thrown back to a TVA where there's a different alternative universe where we see He Who Remains, but instead of the Time Lords, we see just a big old statue of He Who Remains. This version is more vain, I think, like very more, he wants to be a opposing figure. He's like a dictator. I'm standing here and I'm watching at all times. That's what that very big statue gave me the vibe of. Speaking of He Who Remains, when he died, it looked very similar to the universe crackling effect that happened in the Spider-Man's, and I was like, whoa. Multiverse potential? How powerful is the power scaling gonna get in this Marvel show? But anyway, Loki goes back to the TVA, still exists, and he goes to Mobius and a couple other people. Hello, I'm Loki. Hello, Mobius, I'm Loki. Who are you? And I'm like, oh, that just feels so sad. Loki just lost a friend. Ah, all that connection wiped out. Bam! Thanks, Sylvie. You lost Loki a friend. And that's how the show ends. We just get to feel that the universe is different. And I think the universe is going to be a little bit more chaotic, especially since He Who Remains is more forward with his existence. And I'm like, okay, where are we gonna go from here? I really like this episode. Sets up a potential for a bigger event, and I'm like super excited for it. Again, I really have to mention that I really like Sylvie and Loki's dynamic, and then Sylvie's personality trait of not being able to trust people is honestly her downfall, in my opinion, because murder is bad. I don't think you should murder, but at the same time, I think I don't know how many people she's murdered, but this is like the biggest person she's murdered ever. So I don't know what is going to happen from here. And because there's just such a big potential, I gotta give this episode a solid 8.6 out of 10. And for the entire series, I enjoyed the arc of following Loki, going through the TVA, having to comply with the TVA rules, and assisting with the TVA, trying to hunt down this variant, eventually going along with this variant, establishing some sort of romantic connection with this variant, which is, honestly, I love it. And then, oh no, there gets betrayed by this variant. I'm like, wow, Loki just went through a whole arc. And we see Loki being less, like, ego focused. I mean, he's still egotistical, but he's a little bit less when he's worn down, when he sees how he dies. He's like, yeah, okay, I'll comply. I've grown as a person. And there's just so much Loki character development, and I love it. The visuals, all the visuals so great. I love the colors. It was very colorful depending on where we went. The TVA is very bland, so it's more of a neutral color palette going on, versus you see the planet that's about to have a moon crash into them. It's very colorful and vibrant, but the colorful and vibrantness compared to the imminent death, I also liked that. I was like, awesome. I just really am a big fan of the colors used in this show. I love the effects that were used. It was really good. I would definitely love to see more Sylvie. I wonder what she's up to now. And Loki, I also want to know what he's up to. I would love to see another season, and luckily, there will be another season of Loki. So whenever that comes out, I'll be reviewing that too. Because this series is just so big of potential and I enjoyed it a lot, I binged this series. It was that good. I gotta give this series a solid 8.9 out of 10. If you like this review, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. The ultimate goal of this channel is for me to become an expert movie reviewer. So, if I haven't reviewed it on the channel, there's a chance I haven't even seen it at all. You can request a movie in the comments below. You can fast track the request, patreon.com/ASEPresents. $20 a month for one movie review per 1 month, or $3 a month for some daily vlogs, all at patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grindiness of this channel, go to this link tree right here for some NSFW content, daily sets. It really helps with the daily grindiness of this channel. So go here. And until next time, I'm Mint Salad Saw. I'll see you later, my salad croutons and bacon bits.